Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Play Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Mario Paint.
Yes, it's Mario Paint on the Super Nintendo.
How does a game released in 1992 still maintain a community today? Maintaining a community over a long period of time is a feat that few games have been able to master, but for every 1,000 failures, there will always be one success story. Mario Paint is one such story. Released on the 14th of July 1992, Mario Paint is closing in on its 30th anniversary, so looking back at the many years of enjoyment this game has provided will help shed some light on what makes it so iconic. Welcome to the Mario Paint Retrospective.
Here we go!
It was quiet, except for the cows. Then a rock fell from the sky, so I sat on it. But it was really a spaceship. Then these aliens surrounded me, and I could actually read their minds. Should we fry or boil him? Whoa! So I pushed a button and made him disintegrate. Okay, so I made it up. Then I made it all happen.
Mario Paint. Draw and make music. Only on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
In 1990, Nintendo released the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES for short. It quickly became the best-selling console of the 90s. So, when tensions started to arise from both parents and the media about children suffering negatively from excessive video game playing, Nintendo was at the forefront. Parents had described their children becoming more antisocial and quick to anger. A phrase was coined during this time to describe the erratic behaviour. It was labelled the Nintantrum. The phrase the Nintantrum even sees use today. Following the outcry, a push for more educational games gained traction, and Mario Paint was Nintendo's response. Nintendo took the brand of the Mario games, which was already beloved by children, and flipped on its head. It wasn't the typical side-scroller children were used to playing. It was an art game. Players would be able to draw, create music, animate, and fill in colouring books, all while accompanied by the franchise's many familiar faces. And to truly allow for the game to be taken to the next level, the game shipped out with a computer mouse, a first within the gaming console industry. The game was quickly adopted by families. Within the first 2 weeks of release in Japan, it became the console's best-selling game. The game was subsequently released to US and European audiences and would go on to win a Parents' Choice Award in 1992, and sell over 1 million copies by 1993. Some educational institutions even started to implement the game as a learning resource for children. TV programs such as CTV started to run contests for the game. Mario Paint was everywhere.
CTV is having a magical Mario Paint Christmas contest. Draw a picture with a Christmas theme. Use pens, pencils, markers, Mario Paint, whatever. It's up to you.
A community started to form, and it was clear Nintendo's game was a hit. But its success did not come without criticism.
I only have blue and blue, dude.
Despite being hailed as perhaps the most ingenious and inspired idea Nintendo had ever come up with for a product by Allgame, the game had its issues. It was criticised for having a limited colour palette, limited frames to animate with, the music created had a limited amount of bars, it lacked many creative features that computer programs at the time had, and there was no way to share your work. In a review published by Guy Chapman in 1997, it was stated that there is a limit to the creativity allowed. All were valid areas of criticism, but with the £150 price tag of the console, along with the $59.95 price tag of the game, it seemed like a fair trade-off when a PC would cost around £1,000 at the time. The community also wasn't going to let the limitations of the console stop them. Players quickly learned that they could hoot their consoles up to a VCR in order to record their audio tapes, their recordings, or even capture their images forever. They could also use this method to extend their work. The impact Mario Paint had could be seen in the following years. Educational games would see a rise in popularity, so much so that Nintendo outsourced the license of the Mario franchise so that companies could continue to make Mario-themed educational games. Nintendo's top competitor, Sega, even took a shot. They made their own Mario Paint style game entitled Wacky World Creative Studio, featuring fan-favourite Sega characters. It even shipped with a mouse, proving that Nintendo's Mario Paint had truly shaken up the industry and cemented itself as top dog. With the success of Mario Paint, Nintendo themselves felt pressured to push the educational image of their company. They tried this with Mario Paint Studio. With the power of the Nintendo 64 and the Nintendo 64 DD extension, this game had the potential to blow Mario Paint out of the water. The programs were more complex, players had more freedom, and through the extension having internet access, they would finally be able to share their creations. But the accessibility problems that the extension had meant the game was a flop, with only 4 of their planned 8 games being released. This did not stop Nintendo. WarioWare DIY for the DS was another creative title released by themselves. The game took all the best features from Mario Paint and put it on a handheld console. Not only did this allow members of the Mario Paint community to play their favourite game handheld, but it also opened up the experience to new generations. Later releases included Super Mario Maker 1 and 2, which in many ways are the spiritual successors to Mario Paint. If Mario Paint was there to teach you art, animation and music, Super Mario Maker was there to teach you game and level development. However, this isn't to say that the community had said its goodbye to the game's predecessor. Mario Paint went full circle. The community started to make railroad levels where characters and blocks would make a sound at a certain time to cover a certain song. Sound familiar? But what of the community now? The community may have gone older, but they never left. Early YouTube saw uploads of song covers made within Mario Paint. The activity was so popular it sparked a community project called Mario Paint Composer, the idea of which being to port the music studio from the SNES to PC and remove the limitations that the console had. Thanks to this program, you can see evidence of community song covers on YouTube today. Revered songs such as Gangnam Style, Bluebird and Through the Fire and Flames have been covered. Even the background music within this video was made using Mario Paint. But YouTube isn't the only place that the community still resides. Streamers still use the software to entertain audiences, artists still use the software to create stunning visuals. The game has even reached other creative arts, with some creators even using the animation software to recreate their favourite childhood memories. It doesn't stop there. Many developers and industry professionals have dedicated their success to Mario Paint. One example will be programmer Takumi Hatakeyama, who worked on WarioWare DIY. When specifically asked if Mario Paint made him who he is today, he replied with, "Without a doubt." Community professionals have included references to the game within their own work. A notable example would be Undertale, a game that has received notoriety in recent years. The sound used for the dog within Undertale is directly taken from Mario Paint. The impact runs deeper still. Within Mario Paint, there was a mini game called Attack. It allowed players to take a break from whatever they were doing, whatever they were creating, and splat some bugs. It's a more traditional mini game that players may find within a game. So to pay homage to its metaphorical grandfather, Super Mario Maker itself had a Attack game mode. Not only does this show that the community is still active, it also reinforces the point that many of the people making games today grew up playing Mario Paint as a kid and were a part of that small subculture growing up. Mario Paint was made to appease the idea that more educational games were needed, but it grew into something so much more. The game truly opened Pandora's box for players at the time. Maybe it was their first time making music, animating, or digitally drawing. Maybe it was the only creative outlet they had. And maybe creating that first piece of art would have them hooked forever. Mario Paint would be the small drop that ripples throughout the pond. It inspired an entire generation to be creative. The impact this game had on people's lives is the reason it still lives on today. The community isn't just people playing the game now. They are the people making future games. They are the people creating music. They are the people creating art. They're the people raising the next generation of gamers. Or maybe they're just ordinary people still touched by the feeling of opening a game for the first time. The community is all around, scattered, but still joined by that memory of opening the box and playing the game and getting hooked for that very first time. This is how Mario Paint still maintains a community today. And this has been the Mario Paint Retrospective. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey, and thank you for watching.
Okay, bye-bye.